Okay, good afternoon, everyone. It's 2:59 p.m. and we are 146 right now in the room. And welcome to our friends from San Beda University, Manila, Rizal. We welcome our friends from Paref Southdale School. We welcome our friends from Northfield School, of course, St. Jude Catholic School. Um, yes, so everyone is here already. We are now 149 St. Louis Marilac. Welcome to our session today. Um, a lot of friends from San Beda. My alma mater, I mentioned to you yesterday, where my father taught for 38 years, San Beda Menjola, and where I also finished, where I studied prep all the way to grade 6, the first batch that was accelerated and skipped grade 7. Unfortunately, with that, after that, I moved to Southridge. Great, thank you. Thank you for joining us. And of course, our friends from um, Portugal. We also have um, two or three from Sri Lanka. And I think our friend from Australia should be coming in very soon. Thank you for joining us. Those of you who have been here since Monday, congratulations, you're surviving 1 week of these sessions. Can we see in the chat box? Please type 5 if this is your fifth seminar for this week with us. If this is your fifth, whoa, look at that. I have to give a special mention to Mr. Gab Molina of Paref Northfield. He is always the first to log on to enter the Zoom room. I think he deserves a reward for that. He will get a link to 3 powerful teacher movies that we are going to share with him. Thank you for joining us in this 1 week seminar. It's now 3:01, so I will not waste time right away. I want to be able to get into our topic because I think this is the most attended of all the seminars because you can hardly find a seminar on class advisory, much less on how to create a culture, a class culture through the powerful um, use of effective class advisory. And so, great. We begin right away. And I'd like to begin with a prayer that I think, teachers should be praying more and more because this is what is needed if we are to be better teachers. Prayer for generosity. Here is for all of you. Let me see. I have to make sure I get to share the sound as well. Okay, great. So here is a prayer of teachers wanting to be better teachers. Okay, well, that is a prayer that I think more and more we teachers should be praying because from what we've seen already, the first 4 days of the seminars, I think you see very clearly teaching profession is more than just an employment. Okay, and this is something we need to implant in the minds of our teachers, especially new ones. The teaching profession is more than just mere employment, it is a mission. We are in the business of enhancing lives, and that has to be very clear in our mind. We have not just been hired to cover the curriculum, we have not just been hired to teach a subject, and that is important, that is essential. But more than that, we have been hired by our school to make an impact in the lives of our students. And that is the reason why, if you are a class advisor, then the task becomes even tenfold because we are really directly in the business of enhancing lives and making sure that our students, the students entrusted to our care in our class, will grow up to be not just smart, but especially good with all the virtues they need to succeed in life. And so this is what we're going to talk about today, how to use class advisory. I want to be able to get straight into systems and strategies, but first I need you to accept with me certain principles. First is it's a choice, okay? Let's face it, you and I had class advisors in our many years inside the classroom. And let's accept it. We've had good ones, but we've had some mediocre ones. I mean, it's the fact. There were some who were exceptional. They made a big difference in our life. But there are some we don't even remember because these are class advisors who just checked attendance and distribute and collected reply slips, memos, reply slips, and made announcements and started the day and then dismissed us. And then they didn't make an impact. But there are some that when we go back for alumni homecoming, for um, gatherings of schools, we look for them because they made a big difference in our lives, because at one point in our life they were the ones who encouraged us, motivated us to move forward. Today I need to get you to accept I have to choose to be an effective class advisor, not a mediocre one, not an average one, but someone who really will make a difference in the lives of the students, because we will create a culture of excellence, of friendship, camaraderie, kindness in our classroom. Our sources are the same. Rafe Esquith, Teach Like Your Hair is on Fire. Um, it's available in Amazon for people who want to really get into details of yesterday's economic system that I talked about. During the presentation, there were a few who sent me direct messages saying, "This is a fantastic strategy. This is a good strategy." It is. And it's considered to be, for some teachers, what will make them really, what will enable them really to make an impact in the lives of their students, because they will be able to teach life skills, skills the students will need for the rest of their life. So, he is going to be our one of our sources also. This book, as I said, he followed it up with three other books. One specifically for parents, another one for inside the classroom, getting into more concrete details of the application of the economic system. And then my good friend Hal Urban continues to be a very good source because, as I said, while the title is 20 things good teachers do, he will talk there about more than 100 concrete strategies inside the classroom. So it's a fantastic book. And he came up with a new book this April, The Power of Good News. He sees very clearly that this pandemic is bringing about depression among many people, teachers, parents, students. So, if there is anything people need these days, it's the power of good news. And so that's his latest book. And hopefully, I'll be able to invite him for a session with teachers sometime in July or August. And then, if you are already with us in Facebook, this is one of the books you can download in the page Smart and Good High Schools, which contains hundreds of strategies successful schools in the United States have been doing or are doing in order to create smart and good high schools, to produce smart and good students. It's available. 273 pages or so of nothing but strategies after strategies after strategies. So I encourage you, if you have not downloaded it yet, please explore it in the Facebook page and look for it right away before you even get drowned in the many other materials available there, including all the PowerPoint presentations I have used this whole week. Okay, so we have come to accept that this is it. This is a principle we live by. We are not just interested in educating young people in math, science, English, and whatever subject you are assigned to teach. we are especially interested in seeing them build moral intelligence, be able to make right choices, not just now while inside our classroom, but especially later when they are adults, when they are out there in the real world. Otherwise, we have seen this some very smart, highly intelligent people, but using their intelligence to do evil, to sow discord, to practice corruption, to steal from the government, and now we see them as menace to society. Here's the problem: when a chair is broken, it's very easy to say, "Who built this chair? Give it back to the carpenter. Give it back to the workshop." When a person grows up to be bad, immoral, you cannot say who's the grade 5 teacher of the student. Put him back in the classroom. We cannot. And that's why teachers, we only have one shot. The 10 months that the students are entrusted to your care, that is it. That is our only opportunity to raise them up to be good, as what Rafe Esquith has been doing. All the students who passed through his grade 5 class all go up to be highly successful, but in a special, more especially, they grow up to be good people because he teaches for character. Let's teach for character. And as class advisors, we are in a position to form the conscience of our students. I mean, really, the impact of the class advisor is even far greater than the impact of other teachers. Of I even dare to say the pastor, the priests, the religious, because the students usually would go to church once a week, but they are inside your class advisory every day. In some cases, in some schools, the class advisor is the first person to meet the students at the beginning of the day, and the last person the students will meet before dismissal. So we are in a position to form the conscience of our students. It's supposed to be the parents, but we have been seeing these past days there is a bit of crisis in many houses, in many homes. Sometimes the parents are absent even. Media is very powerful, and we include here social media. That is now what is so powerful in manipulating mindsets of the young people. Schools, we are supposed to be the ones. There is a problem here in the Philippines. I think I mentioned when you have a Department of Education secretary, whatever his or her trust is, that becomes the objective. The time of Lourdes Kisumbing, she valued values education. She made a big push for values education. And then after her, what happened next? Well, the next Secretary of Education wanted to emphasize Filipino as a subject. The next one made use of understanding by design. Okay, and then the next one was pushing OBE, and then the so poor teachers, we are like being experimented on. When was the last time we heard of the Department of Education saying, no, 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 stop this. Let's make character formation a top priority because there is a crisis in character among our students, among the young people. We play a very important role in forming character. But research says the young people today prefer to listen to their peers and friends than to their parents or to the teachers or to the adults. In some cases, they even shut their world off from the adults, thinking that the adults don't see them, don't understand them, don't appreciate the lifestyle that they live, for example. So, but in a special way, we looked at in the past days, whoa, the environment that the young people are growing up in today, which researchers have described as an environment that is most pernicious, insidious, and clandestine. And what is this environment? We've seen it, the highly sexualized environment, um, uh, immersed in technology, like as if the life of the young people today revolve around gadgets and technology and Wi-Fi and the internet and social media. This is the kind of world that they're living in. And here's even a sadder reality. There is a certain culture that is prevailing all over the world, the cancel culture. You know, when you start talking about morals or the immorality, for example, of certain actions, well, you are shut down right away as somebody belonging to the Middle Ages, as somebody belonging to the past and not very much present. And then you are canceled. This is how it is. In many places today, they don't even call it abortion anymore. The murder of the baby inside the mother's womb. No, they don't call it abortion. They call it reproductive rights, reproductive health, right of the woman over her body. Wait, but this these millions, 1.5 billion babies murdered since 1972 up to the present. That's a lot of murder. But they don't want to call it murder anymore. They want to call it reproductive rights or right of the woman over her body. This is the kind of environment that the young people are growing up in. So please realize, teachers, we are now playing a very important role in the history of mankind in raising this generation of young people that is entrusted to our care. It is now in our hands. How will this next generation of young people um, make of the world? And so we've got to be best teachers that we can possibly be. Really, the seminars this whole week are nothing else but an invitation. Dear fellow teachers, let us be the best teachers we can possibly be because the young people need us now more than ever. And they need not just our math, science, and English expertise, they need especially us answering their question about the world. Why am I in this world? What is my purpose here in this world? Why is the world like this? The fundamental questions. These are the more important things young people need answers to when they enter your classroom, whether it is the Zoom classroom, the Google classroom, or face to face classroom. They need answers from us. They need to be able to make sense of what is happening in the world. So that is our job. That is our mission. That is our role in this in the lives of these young people today. We are here to enhance their lives and make them live a meaningful life more than just teaching them factoring, subtraction, addition, division, all of which they can already learn on their own in a more exciting ways, in more exciting ways through so many games and apps and websites available in the internet. Same thing with spelling and formula, forming sentences. Wow, there are so many fantastic websites available online that can teach them spelling in a more exciting way than how we can do it inside the classroom. So, more than all those things, they come inside our classroom asking you and me, Sir, teach me, Ma'am, teach me. Why is the world like this? What is my purpose in this world? How can I be a happy human being in spite of what I see in the world today? Here are some principles, my dear teachers, I need you to accept if I am going to make any sense at all in this class advisory session, in this seminar on class advisory. I need you first to accept the following principles. Number one, all of us who are class advisors, we can have the greatest impact on the formation of our students. We have to believe this. And when we believe this, then it will make a lot of sense. That's why I need strategies. Oh, that's why I need to have systems in place. That's why we need to sit down as a faculty and discuss what can we put in place so that we are able to create a culture, a mindset, an attitude, a behavior, an outlook among the students entrusted to our care. On his or her effectiveness or ineffectiveness lies the spirit of the class. Sometimes when I'm giving this seminar to schools, I give it the title of conjuring the spirit of the class because it's the class advisor who is capable of creating a whole new culture, mindset, attitude, behavior. You notice it? You notice it when you sometimes have exceptional students. And then some people say, no wonder that guy is like that. He belongs to the class of Mrs. So and so. No wonder he's like that. He belongs to the class of Mr. So and so. These fantastic class advisors are able to create a practically a whole new character among their students, that the students there inside their classroom start behaving in a certain way, having a mindset that is the same, that is founded on kindness, respect, responsibility, hard work. That is the vision for your class, my dear fellow teachers. Conjuring the spirit of the class, we are in a position to be able to do this. Okay, now, um, when I say class advisor here, if your idea of class advisory is simply what I mentioned earlier, checking attendance, distributing memos to be given to the parents, and then making sure you're able to collect the reply slips and collect payments for the intrams, t-shirts, and being able to, and then those are the only things we know of class advisory. No, let me now make it very clear. A real effective class advisor, here are the expectations of him, of her. Number one, the class advisor should have a full understanding and sincere appreciation of the spirit of the school. You remember what I told you on day one? I mentioned to you that when I'm talking to teachers, and we are practically double of the attendance of last Monday. And so I hope you don't mind, those who were with us last Monday. Let me repeat these three things I never fail to mention when I am addressing teachers. Number one, teachers, please do not ever use foul language, profanity, bad words. Because when we do, our reputation plummets and we lose our effectiveness as agents of character formation. Number two, teachers, whatever subject you're teaching, even if it is PE, math, health, music, science, English, whatever subject you're teaching. Number two, you have no right to complain if the students come to class late, if the students pass the project late, if they give their homework late, if you yourself, ma'am, sir, if you yourself are always late to enter the classroom, late to submit your unit plans, late to give your grades. In other words, we cannot demand from our students something we do not first show by our example. Don't expect them to be kind to you and respectful to you if you yourself shout at the students, disrespect the students, make fun of the students, and worse, hurt them, harm them with your words, with your sarcasm, with your jokes that are sometimes offensive. When we do that, then we cannot demand kindness, respect from them. We cannot demand something from them that we do not first show with our example. And here's the third, and this is very much related to expectation number one of class advisor. Teachers, please do not ever badmouth your school, criticize your administrator, your principal, your officers, and much less your school's mission, vision. Our job in that particular school that you are teaching in is to get our students identify themselves with a school's spirit, with a school's mission vision. But if we ourselves are the first ones criticizing, bad mouthing, saying bad things about our principal, then we have lost our effectiveness to get our students identify themselves with a school. But in a more special way, that is expectation number one of class advisors. We are the first, at the forefront of the battle. We are the frontliners in getting the students identify themselves with the spirit of the school. It is through the class advisor in a special way that the students should be able to learn, should be able to learn and appreciate and love the spirit of the school. Okay? So, let me see. There is a question here. The presentation stopped. Can I see in the chat box? One, the signal is poor. Three, if the signal is perfectly okay. You can hear me, you can see me. Okay, I'm seeing threes. So uh, okay, thank you. Thank you very much. So the answer to that question is no, the presentation did not stop. I just stopped the slides because I needed to get these very important three ideas across. So the class advisors are the first ones in a special way, are in a position to get the students to understand and appreciate the spirit of the school. Therefore, we class advisors should have a full understanding and appreciation of the spirit of the school. We have to know what the school stands for. We have to be able to say, what are the core values of your school? What are the uh, uh, virtues that your school values most? What is your school's mission, vision? What do you want to accomplish as a school? We class advisors should have a full understanding of this and appreciation, and then we transmit. We should be able to transmit to our students this appreciation and sincere appreciation and understanding of that. Here's second expectation. Since we are the direct link of the school with the parents and the students, then our communication skills in writing and in speaking should be flawless. I mean, you have experienced that, right? Class advisors, you are the ones who write a letter to the parents to remind them about the upcoming get together with the parents, a seminar for parents that is coming up, or that we are collecting donations for the Christmas drive, the Christmas outreach. It's the class advisors usually who communicate with the parents. And let me tell you, parents judge the school by what they hear, by what they read from the teachers, and in this case, the class advisors. You can have parents saying, "Whoa, the English of your teacher is so poor. Is this the kind of teaching you receive in school?" They judge the school based on what they read or based on what they hear. So, teachers, class advisors, let us improve in the best possible way we can our ability to express ourselves, to communicate effectively in writing or in speaking. And thirdly, um, I know I know many class advisors here, all 217 of us inside this room. You are not just class advisor, you choreographed the performance of your students. You rehearsed them in the declamation contest. You coached your students in the quiz bee. You coached them in the oratorical contests, right? That's the class advisor. You are not just a teacher. You become a conductor of the choir of the students practicing to perform a song that they will sing in the open house in the Christmas presentation. You choreograph their dance number for the director's day or the principal's day. You teach them tips. You give them tips on declamation. I mean, therefore, this is the third expectation of us class advisors. We need to have the intellectual capacity and a sort of managerial skills of being able to oversee so many activities throughout the year, so many events happening throughout the year, uh, uh, having to manage our time and balance everything, because while we are preparing for our classes, we need to help our class in the classroom decoration, right? I mean, Paref Northfield teachers know this very well. They are made to decorate the classrooms according to themes, and that you have to do in the middle of finishing a unit plan, making the test paper, preparing for the unit test, checking the quizzes, and submitting mid-quarter grades. So we need to have a certain intellectual capacity and a sort of managerial skill to be able to do all these things. Therefore, school administrators who are here in our session today, you need to train your class advisors in these things. These are the seminars you should be offering your class advisors. Full understanding and sincere appreciation of the spirit of the school. You should have a session with your class advisors on understanding the school's mission vision, understanding the core values of the school. What do we stand for? And being able to communicate this in an exciting way to the students, to the parents, to the community. We need to train our class advisors in effective writing, effective communication, effective letter writing, memo writing. These are the things we should be giving our class advisors as training. And then some managerial skills. We need to give them a session on time management, on smart objectives, coming up with the project proposal. I mean, these are the things that in the end an effective class advisor should be able to have, to be effective, to be able to do the tasks that are expected of us. But okay, we class advisors in the end, you realize, are the ones who work the hardest in school. But we also are the ones in a position to really live, to really be able to leave a lasting mark on our students. No wonder we look for these class advisors when we visit our school, our alma mater, 15 years later, 20 years later. We are deeply affected when they pass away, when we hear that they are sick, when we hear that they are in they have problems or they are in trouble. So then, the class advisors, um, if you have accepted this fact that we, class advisors, are in a position to make a really deep impact, then the systems and strategies I'm going to show you now will make a lot of sense. Will mean that's right. It's added work, but we should add all these systems in place. After all, in many cases, when you have students going through a crisis, the girl is pregnant. She cannot go to the mother, to the father. She goes to you. She goes to the class advisor. She asks for a chat. A person going through a depression, and I've encountered this among boys students. I mean, students who are made, and they are thinking of suicide. And they cannot talk about it with their father or with their mother. They talk about it with a class advisor. They ask for a chat. They open up because this is the class advisor. In many cases, the in loco parentis phrase applies especially in a special way to class advisors. Here's what the US Senate resolution discovered when they were trying to see how can we improve schools. They discovered that if a school is vibrant, innovative, child-centered place, if it has a reputation for excellence in teaching, if students are performing to the best of their ability, one can almost always point to the principal's leadership as the key to success. The principal's leadership is very important and very key. But look at what they also discovered. They discovered also that if a class, earlier, if a school, this time, if a class is a vibrant, innovative, child friendly, child centered place, if the class has a reputation for excellence, if students there in that class are performing to the best of their ability, one can almost always point to the class advisor's leadership as the key to success. And it is true, really, especially in schools where I've taught in, where class advisory is given importance. The class develops a certain character, a certain even common mindset, attitude based on the how effective or ineffective the class advisor is. So, in the effective class, the class advisor acts as a leader and effectively communicates the goals to his students and their parents. Day one of this week's seminar, I mentioned this, a hallmark of a great school is the school's effort to reach out to the parents to collaborate with the school. And the class advisor is key to that, reaching out to the parents and getting them to collaborate with us in being able to achieve our objectives in the school. So, the class advisor, the leader of leaders, the coach, the partner, and the cheerleader of the class. Those of you who have been class advisors for years, you know this, right? There is a championship game that your class is going to go through. The class advisor is the loudest cheerleader in the court, in the basketball court, in the volleyball court, in the football field. That the class advisor is at the forefront of the cheerleading, even before the students go down to the field for the championship game. The class advisor is the one that gives the rara speech, the inspirational speech. And if we lose, we are the ones who give them the motivation to look forward to the next chance, to stand up again after every fall. The class advisor is effectively the coach, the partner, cheerleader of the class, the team leader. Okay, now I don't want to waste more time. Let's get straight into systems and strategies. In all the schools I've taught in, I founded a school in a province, Westbridge School. I put in this system that we're going to talk about. I went to Southridge and we put it in place. I went to Bannister Academy, we put it in place, and it worked. I went to Northfield and we, with the help of Mr. Ahensha there and many other teachers, it worked. It changed the um, the mindset of many teachers, many students. So, what is this award for class excellence? Students like very much to compete with each other. And so, this is one way of getting them to compete with each other. At the start of the school year, you're going to announce to the whole school, we are going to give recognition to classes that are able to achieve excellence. Excellence not just in academics, but excellence in participation in school activities, in attendance, in zero tardiness, in all aspects of school life. And we'll call this the class excellence award. Okay, and the students will have the opportunity to gain points, to gain merits. Now, the beautiful thing about this recognition for class excellence is the students are not competing with each other, because any class that is able to reach a certain number of points can be given the class excellence recognition, the class excellence award. So they're not competing against the other classrooms, they're competing against themselves. Zero tardiness. We have to get those points. Please, classmates, make sure no one is going to be late this week or this month or this period. Number of students making it to the honor rolls. Let's work hard so that 80% of the class. will be able to make it to the first honor, second honor, third honor, and we will be able to get the points. Okay, so this is what we did. I mean, I was fortunate to be given the chance to help start a school here in Manila, in Quezon, in Pasig, called Bannister Academy. And we institutionalized this Class Excellence Award. And since the logo of the school is you have two lions there and then a shield, so we called it the Lion Award for Class Excellence. In Southridge, there was a time our motto, the battle cry for the year was Soar Great Heights. We just decided this year our battle cry is Soar Great Heights. Okay, so for the Class Excellence Award that year, we called it the Eagle Award for Class Excellence. And so you have Lion Award for Class Excellence, the Eagle Award for Class Excellence. Um, you can call it by any other name you want. The important thing is the students get excited about the students get excited in being part of this adventure of winning points, winning merits. I mean, those of you, um, yeah, in Northfield, they called it the Lighthouse Class Excellence Award. So you can give it any other name that will make the students excited, and that will give the Class Excellence Award more than just a generic name of Class Excellence Award, but we give it the school's trademark, distinct mark. No? And then in the scoring, instead of calling it points, which is again generic, the Soar Great Heights Eagle Award. So we called it wings. 20 wings. 20 wings for this class that has zero absence, zero tardiness this month. Okay. Yeah. Signal is getting problematic. Let's wait a bit. I'll wait a bit for the signal to stabilize. How is it now? Is it still okay? Yeah. Back to 3. Thank you. Thank you. Great. This is a very good system, so that I get feedback about smart and globe signal. We are at the mercy of these big telecom companies. There's got to be a better way in the future. Anyway, so I was saying, instead of calling them points, which is so generic in the scoring, so Soar Great Heights Eagle Award, we call them wings. You can get 20 wings for zero absence, 20 wings for winning in the intrams. Um, hmm, back to back to 1. I wonder why it's happening like this. Anyway, so um, still 1, still 1. Hello. Okay, I'm back to 3. Good. So there. It's the audio that comes in and out. Okay, thank you for letting me know. So we call it wings. We call it the shields. For example, because the Bannister logo is a shield with two lions, so we called it Lion Award for Class Excellence, and you can get 20 shields for this achievement, 50 wings for that achievement. Okay. How is it now? Is my sound back? Hello? Hello? Good. Um, we're having trouble with the sound, I was told. Is my sound back? Can you hear me? Still A1. Still A1. Okay. Still A1. Okay. Now I'm beginning to see some trees. Are we back? How is the signal now? How is the signal of, okay, still A1? Hmm, still A1. Okay. Um, my sound is disappearing. Is that how it's going? Yes. Okay. Am I back? Can you hear me now? Audio is erratic. Audio is erratic. Let me see. Okay. Now, okay. Okay. So look at this list here. Here are some ways by which students can be given points, which we will call shields or wings. In the case of Northfield, for example, since they use Lighthouse Award for class excellence, they use compass points. Okay, so for example, in the class, if zero absence, then the class is given 20 shields. Zero tardiness, 30 shields. Clean classroom recognition, 30 shields. For every student that competes in an international contest, the class is given 50 shields. For every student that competes in a national competition, 30 shields. Now, um, in the case of PAREF schools, Parents for Education Foundation schools, we require parents to attend parenting classes, parenting sessions. In some schools, they have a tough time getting parents to come, but not if you have in place the class excellence recognition, where the class can be given, you can even put here 100 wings or 100 shields if 100% of the parents in the class attend the parents get together. I mean, you can play around with points, with the shields, with the wings, depending on what you value, what you want to put emphasis on. Okay, so those are just some samples, and here are more, because the most basic thing we want the students to do is study. So that's where you put in the biggest number of points. If 100% of the students inside the classroom are able to make it to first honor or honor rolls, meaning to say first, second, or third honor, then that's 100 points or 100 shields or 100 wings for the class. 90% of the class able to make it to the honor rolls, then 90 shields or 90 points. And you can come up with many other ways by which the students can get points. Okay, now here's how it works. At the start of the semester or the quarter, at the start of the quarter, you will announce class, or you will announce in a general assembly, this quarter or this semester or this grading period for your class to qualify in the class excellence award, your class should be able to get 1,000 points or 1,000 shields or 1,000 wings. Any class that is able to reach 1,000 points will be given class excellence recognition for this quarter or for this semester or for this specific grading period. Okay? Now, you can offer other ways by which they can gain additional points. For example, the class that organizes an outreach activity on their own, not part of a requirement, but they organize it. A visit to an orphanage, a visit to homes for the aged, a visit to children's hospital and spend an afternoon there. So things like that. Or the class that comes out with a class newsletter, or the class that comes up with an initiative to do weekend sports or study weekend. where they tutor the classmates who are lagging behind and things like that. No, so um, that opens the classes to being able to do a lot of initiatives. You remember what I said on day 2? I love a classroom where students are trying to outdo each other in doing good, right? When I taught you the strategy on the Good Deeds Bowl, or I taught you the trophy technique, where this week the trophy belongs to row 4 because they were the most participative, the best, always aligned, always orderly, always clean, always reciting. So the trophy this week. And so you will have rows of students trying to outdo each other in doing good. Now, I love a school where classes are competing with each other in doing good, in having zero tardiness, zero absence, 100% submission of reply slips, 100% participation in student seminars, in intrams, in the Father's Day celebration, in Christmas program. I love a school where students, classes are trying to outdo each other in doing good things. That is what will happen when you have that kind of system in place, where students are going to try to outdo each other in doing good. So I'll show you, for example, even if I was already principal of intermediate school in Southridge and religion department chair, I insisted on being class advisor because I saw very clearly early on the impact class advisors can have on the students. Now, my last assignment in Southridge before I moved to the University of Asia in the Pacific was to be class advisor of a grade 7 class. And I looked over my files dating back to 2009 when I left Southridge, and this is what I found: a listing of the wings, the points that my class advisory got in one quarter, and look at the initiatives of my students to be able to get the wings, the points, the class excellence award. They came up with a newsletter. They had a class website. We organized a class pilgrimage. We went to Enchanted Kingdom twice. We organized a magic show inside the classroom. We visited Fully Booked. We participated in the get together with Bishop Echevarria in a lecture hall. We went to a class pilgrimage. We went to a class outing. We did corporal works of mercy, of visiting a hospital, supporting for the prisoners. I mean, and this is just one class in a school. Imagine 10 other classes doing as many other things as they can to be able to get the Class Excellence Award. I love a school where classes are trying to outdo each other in doing good. And that is the fruit of the system of Class Excellence Award. Now, to make it even more exciting, you've got to give your class a class name. I mean, if we gave the Class Excellence Award a name like Eagle Award, Lighthouse Award, Bannister's Lion Award for Class Excellence, we might as well give our class a name. You cannot just say 7D. No, we had the name 7D Daring Darters. Grade 5B Best Bets. Okay. So now we have a question here. When the points are based on the actions of the parents, doesn't it put pressure on students whose parents are uncooperative? Well, if your school is like Parents for Education Foundation, where the parents sign a contract from the very beginning that they are going to make themselves available for formation, then that shouldn't be a problem. Now, is that putting pressure on the students? I admit, yes. And what I've seen from experiences, it has the pressure has produced fantastic results because it's because of the students that this parent that has not attended any get together or parenting session in the last 2 years, we suddenly start coming. And the parent will say, because my son started reminding me a month ago about this. And my son has been reminding me every night, but it's for the good because then the parents suddenly start also getting involved. uh, the homeschool collaboration that I was talking about earlier can happen. And um, okay, putting a bit of pressure on the students, but let me tell you, the students themselves get excited about all these things. I mean, they themselves find excitement about being the reason for their parents coming to school and finally collaborating in the real sense of the word with the school or being involved in activities. So to make this even more exciting, the class should be allowed to have a name. In the case of many schools I know where we implemented this, we made a policy. Your class name should be a virtue, and then this year an animal. Okay, the the brave leopards. Okay, that's the name of the brave grade 2 brave leopards. Okay, we approve your name. This one now they want their name to be the in that year when I was grade 7 class advisor, we were told, okay, your name should be a name of a bird and then a virtue. Okay, we became the 70 daring darters. Okay, and that has to be approved. And wait, not only that, you are creating a class culture. We might as well also have a class motto. So these are the things that students should be excitedly doing at the start of the school year, not reviewing how to get detained, expelled, and you remember I was telling you yesterday, please do not review on day one how to get detained, expelled, and dropped from the rolls, and that has place later on, but not on day one. Day one, the students should be excited talking about what name should we give our class, what motto should we adopt as our class motto, and what logo should we have? You can have two, three artists among the students. Let them design, let the students choose, and then let it be executed in a more professional way by the school artist or whoever is in a position in the school to be able to do that. And in the case of Southridge grade school, they went beyond the class name, class logo, class motto. Let's even have a class cheer by which the students will every day to begin the day they will do the class cheer that was created by one of the students the or the class advisor. Okay, so let me share with you the Southridge experience or the Southridge model. um, the grade school applied all these rules about the Class Excellence Award. Southridge is a school for boys. My heart is there because that's my alma mater. I was the very first graduate of Southridge School back in 1984. We were the very first batch. And then I went back there for 15 years to be principal of intermediate school, vice principal of high school, religion department chair. And in most of those years I was there, I was a class advisor. And this is what they do. So, grade 6A, for example, they gave a name for their class, Resolute Wolves. Grade 6A, the Resolute Wolves. They have a class motto, Duc in Altum. And they even chose core values. At the start of the school year, the students were made to choose how should we or what do we consider as most important values or virtues. So they chose here respect, fortitude, responsibility. The class advisor now can always remind them, class, our class has to be known because of our respect, of our fortitude, of our responsibility. And the class advisor can always go back to that again and again. Oh, class, stop complaining about the assignments. Remember, fortitude is one of our core values. Class, we're going to go out there now to join the first Friday Mass. Remember, behave properly because we respect our Lord in the Holy Eucharist. There is a question about how do we apply the class awards in online distance learning. I suppose that's what the ODL. Oh, it's perfectly applicable. It's perfectly applicable, especially if we are preparing now for the next school year, for a new school year. This system, if we can place it from the very beginning, if we can get all the class advisors during this summer break excited. I mean, this is what really will happen. The class advisors now will start feeling like they're competing with that other class, with that other class advisor. It becomes like a competition among class advisors, but it's not. It's really not, because as I told you, any class that is able to reach the quota number of points for that period can be given the class excellence award. So they are not competing with each other. But the idea that we have to have the highest points, we have to be able to get the highest score during because this is what will make it exciting. At the end of every month, you gather all the students and update them about the status of the wings, of the points, of the lighthouse awards, of the shields, of how many every class. As soon as the name of the class is flashed on screen, you hear the class cheering, and then the number of points they have, and then an applause. But another class with a 1/4 sheet, 1/2 sheet, one whole sheet that we submit to, well, in whatever test paper, we write that motto for that week. In this case, the motto they have is, I will do my task well without being told. That's self-discipline. Imagine the students writing this on every paper, on every test paper, on every notebook that they have for that week. It sets in. Let me see. I have to make sure I share the sound. Okay, very well. So just a 3 5 minute break. Okay, well, I think that's a good enough break for us. Let me see. Internet connection is unstable, according to the message here. Um, Okay, so let's move on. There's a question in the chat box about families doing this system. Well, okay, it's not really applicable to family situation, but what families I know, good families do is they do visioning. They have family visioning, where as a family they discuss what are the core values of our family. What in fact can we say is like the motto of our family. What do we stand for? Um, what are the most important things for us? I know families that do that, or I know families, for example, that their children have to work and be able to comply with certain number of things for them to be able to get a cell phone, and that would mean doing house chores, visiting grandma. They can families can come up with a long list of things that you still first need to accomplish to be able to deserve that internet time, extra internet time for weekend, or the new phone that you have been craving for, that you have been demanding us to get you. Okay, but first comply with all these items, and once you're done, then we can discuss possibility of being able to get you that new phone, get you that thing that you are asking for. In other words, the kids have to work hard to be able to get things, and that's a very good formation, that they don't go grow up to be spoiled kids, being able to get anything they want without any work on their part, no? So those things can be, I know some families using those strategies, but not point system where effectively the kids are like trying to compete with each other, no? um, okay, as I said earlier, it's not about competing with each other. It's about anyone who's able to reach, to comply with certain things, then they can be given that recognition. It's more of a recognition system. Yesterday, we talked about the economic system of Rafe Esquith, by which he is able to teach them skills they will need for the rest of their life. And then delayed gratification. It's a fantastic system. And if you don't know it because you were not with us yesterday, then I encourage you to either get a copy of that book of Rafe, or I'm sure you Google it, you will be able to find clear explanations of Rafe Esquith's economic system. He called them, I mean, the title of his book is Methods and Madness in Room 56. In fact, he discusses first chapter as the methods. And then chapter 4 or so, he says the strategies from here on are already madness. You will only do these strategies if you're mad enough as a teacher. If you're crazy enough to go beyond the minimum and work on being able to do these things. So he calls them the methods and madness in room 56. I gave you one strategy from his madness yesterday. Compile those life changing movies, have them available for your students inside the classroom. Even on online setting, you can actually do this, because now they can easily access practically any videos in YouTube or in Netflix or in HBO, or it's all available for them there easily. Compile these life changing movies, come up with two or three questions to bring out the life lessons in the movies. And then every time a student watches that movie and submits answers to the two or three questions, he is given some merits or points or uh, plus in reading grade or something. No? So, in the case of Rafe, he would make those videos available inside the classroom. as a library, and anybody can borrow one, two, or three over the weekend and get the life lessons from those videos. Tuesdays, in his school, Hobart's elementary school, teachers are asked to dismiss students early, like 2:30 instead of 3:30. Well, in the case of Rafe, instead of dismissing them early, he would make them watch one of those life-changing movies with good life lessons, or any videos he can incorporate into the subject, into history, into English literature, social studies. He would, because we are dealing with the digital natives, the digital generation, the multimedia brain, the the brain of the young people are able to process more when they see, when they hear, when they watch a movie. So movies are very powerful tools for teaching, especially even certain lessons that you cannot learn inside the classroom, no? Now, here's test taking strategy that Rafe Esquith teaches his students. You know what math, for example, when a math teacher is preparing his class for an exam, how do math teachers many times do it? He would call for three volunteers, and then they would go to the board and they would answer, let's say, one math problem, and then the students would sit down and the teacher will ask the class, okay, is their answer correct? That's how they prepare for an exam. Not Rafe. In the case of Rafe, this is how he prepares students for an exam. Their exam would usually be, most of the time, multiple choice. Okay, he would write the problem on the board, and then he would ask the class, okay, class, what are the possible wrong answers that will appear in a multiple choice exam? This is the problem. What are the possible wrong answers? Somebody would raise his hand. Sir, the student can be careless, and instead of uh, dividing, he will multiply. So a possible wrong answer is this. Okay, let me mute. Uh, Okay, so the student will say, the student gets confused, and instead of dividing, he will multiply. And Ray would say, very good wrong answer. Anybody else? Any other possible wrong answers that will come up in a multiple choice exam? The student will say, sir, the student will forget to carry one in that, and therefore a possible wrong answer is this. Very good wrong answer. Anybody else? You know what Rafe is doing? He is making the students think like test makers, not test takers. And that is how he would prepare the students for an exam. Make the students think like test makers, not test takers. And according to Rafe, when the students are taking an exam, um, hmm, okay, internet is giving us a bit of a problem. Let's wait a bit for internet to stabilize. It's still one. It's still one. Uh, let's see the signal. Is it still one? Can you hear me? How is it now? Still unstable. Okay, good. I'm back. Thank you. Okay, wow. Smart is not very cooperative. Anyway, so we've covered many things already. I continue praying that we will survive this day in spite of the challenges of the internet. Anyway, we still have many more things to be grateful for. There are people out there who do not have internet, and we are still here connected. Okay, so um, according to Rafe, um, with this strategy, make your students think like test makers, not test takers. According to Rafe, whenever his students are taking an exam, he would hear students giggling. You know, while they are working on exam, they would be laughing or giggling because they could spot um, common mistakes or errors. I mean, the wrong choices. They know that that is a wrong choice put there because of danger of carelessness, because of danger of confusion, like that. No? So it works. Um, no wonder his students do very well in Harvard, Stanford, Yale, and other Ivy League schools. Now, class advisors, teachers, the students today are poor in time management. Okay, uh, let's assume they don't know how to manage their time wisely. That's why they are described by researchers as the sleep deprived generation. And worse, I'm sure you have students who will do the assignment only one day before submission, even if you gave that 2 weeks ago. I mean, that's the mindset of many young people. They are the cramming mentality. I mean, they have this cramming mentality. Why should I do it now, 2 weeks? There are still 2 weeks to go before the deadline. So, Rafe Esquith said, we have to teach students to be very, very conscious of time as a way of developing in them wise time management. So this is what he will do. This is his strategy. Friday afternoon, before dismissing them, he would tell them, okay, class, I'm about to dismiss you. This is the time. And you are going to come back on Monday at this time. Do the math. How many hours do you have from the time I dismiss you to the time you come back to class? They make the math. 63 hours. Very good. Please make sure you get to have 8 hours of sleep every day. Tonight, on Saturday, and Sunday night. You see, he emphasizes to them the need to get good number of hours of sleep. Let's not lose by default. Let's not um, forget to mention it to them that sleep is very important. I mean, they have to hear it from people. They have to hear it from adults. They have to hear it from successful people like you that 8 hours of sleep they have to try to get. So deduct 24 hours. And then on Sunday, please find time to join your family for family worship, whether for Catholics to go to Mass, for Christians to go to church. Make sure you devote time for family worship. Let's remove 3 hours from this 63 hours. How much time do you have left? And then he will make them realize you have 36 hours from the time I dismiss you to the time you come back on Monday. That is your time. You can do whatever you want with it. Don't come back on Monday telling me you never had time to read the assignment. You had 36 hours. Don't tell me on Monday you did not get to do the homework. You had 36 hours. Don't tell me you didn't get to read a good book. You had 36. So if they keep on hearing this from us adults, they will learn time management. They will learn to value time more than how they do it now, given the kind of environment that they live in. That is Rafe Esquith's strategy. All these things I've taught you so far are geared towards developing a certain mindset, raising children who are level six thinkers, creating a classroom culture of support and friendship and respect and helping each other, and not to forget your humor, your laughter, a classroom that is low pressure and high support. You're creating a class identity, class culture. I want to welcome you now to my classroom. My last 20 minutes or so, um, I couldn't bring you to my classroom in Southridge, but I will bring my classroom to you now. Here is how my classroom looked like. And along the way, I will share with you class advisory strategies I learned that are very, very effective through the years. Number one, before my students come to my classroom, 1 week before, I would go to the registrar's office and I would ask for the email addresses of my students. We are in the modern century. Communication should be one of the easiest things. So I would go to the registrar's office and I would ask for the email addresses of students in my class. And I'm going to write my parents, the parents of my students, a letter. This is 2008. First, I will introduce myself to the parents. I will tell them I finished journalism. I have an MA in creative writing. I am doing my dissertation for PhD in literature. I have been teaching for so many years. I am assuring my parents that I know what I'm doing. Believe in me. Let's work together. We can make this a successful school year for you and for your son. So I introduce myself. You will not go to a doctor that you are not sure if he has a degree in medicine. You're not going to go to a dentist whom you are not sure about the skills of. Normally, you ask around who's a good dentist here, who's a good doctor here. So I assure my parents, I know what I'm doing. I'm an expert. Let's work together. Paragraph number 2, I tell the parents how they can contact me, my email, my office number, the local number they can call, the best time of the day they can call, and I'm not even afraid to give them my cell number. Now, this is not a dogma. I'm not saying you should do this because I know some parents who are allergic to their cell phone number being passed on to the parents. Then I respect you. No problem. I'm simply telling you I did this and it helped me a great deal connecting with the parents very easily. They can easily contact me as I can also contact them easily because I'm going to show you what I'll ask the students to fill up. And then paragraph number 3, I will tell them about the class website that they can get information there. And sometimes I also end the letter by saying, by the way, on the first Saturday after the school year opens, the class will go to Enchanted Kingdom theme park to spend the Saturday in team building, in friendship, in camaraderie, in getting to know each other. If you allow your son to join that, please submit the reply slip below together with his payment. And parents are so nice. They see a letter like this. They've never seen a class advisor. The school year has not opened yet. I would email this around 1 week before the school year would open. And some parents are so nice. They see a teacher reaching out to them like this. They pay for two. They send payments for their son and they want to pay for my Enchanted Kingdom ticket too. And two, three parents do that. Wow, I already earn money for my snacks also. And uh, parents appreciate very much that you are reaching out to them, that you are not afraid to connect with them. And then you're promising them this is going to be the best, one of the best there is for your son in Southridge. High expectation that we were talking about yesterday. So this is 1 week before the school year starts. On the day my students arrive on day one, I make my students fill up this form, family information sheet, so that in the first 10 minutes, I mean, the bell has not rung yet. This paper is already on top of their table. I need to know your family name, your first name, what are your hobbies, what are the awards that you've received in the past, what is the when is your parents' wedding anniversary? And then I also want to know your father, where is he working? How can I contact him? I need to contact him every so often. And when is his birthday? Email address. Chances are I have it already because I asked the registrar's office for that. And then I asked for the mother's contact details and birthday and how about your brothers and sisters? The class hasn't started yet. I collect these papers from the students. I get to know many things about them even before I start talking to them. I get to know many things about their families even before the school or the day has started. For education to be effective, it's got to be personal. Remember that quotation that we encountered in the first days of the seminar. So, welcome to my classroom. This is how my class would look like. And here is a strategy, a class advisory strategy. I want to encourage you to explore. It's a reward system. It's a bit difficult to do this on a online setting, but I'm sure you can adapt it. When you enter my classroom, you will see hanging on the board, hanging there in front, the names of the students, name tags of the students, name card. And then at the back is just blank. And then I announced to the students on day one, after welcoming them, excitedly welcoming them inside the classroom, class, every time you contribute to class excellence, class prestige, class unity, I am going to put a tag at the back of your name tag or of your name card. Okay? I'm going to put it's just a little colored sticker that I will put at the back of your name card every time you contribute to class unity, class prestige, class honor. For example, if you join the Enchanted Kingdom on Saturday, which therefore will contribute to class unity, you get a tag. If you, for example, qualify for the basketball varsity team, contributing to class prestige, you get a tag at the back of your name card. If you, for example, compete in a national competition, spelling, math, quiz bee, you get two tags because that's national, that's prestige, not just for our class, but for our school. International, I will give you five tags for that. So any contribution you do to the class unity, class prestige, class honor, I'm going to put a tag. And at the end of the quarter, the students, the five students with the biggest number of tags, stickers at the back, meaning to say they were the ones who contributed most to class unity, to class prestige, to class honor, will receive a certificate. Students of the quarter. At the end of the year, the student with the biggest number of tags will be given a bigger certificate or even a trophy or even a medal. Class, so student of the year of 5B Best Bets. Now, here's the excitement. You expect them especially to study. Therefore, if you are third honor, I'm going to put five tags on your name card. If you are second honors, seven tags. If you are first honor, 10 tags. And it takes time for you to put the tags. But as you are putting that, the applause turns into cheering, and the cheering turns into celebration, and the celebration becomes like a class cheering. The whole class cheering for every achievement of the student because they contributed to class honor, class prestige, class unity. And students from other classes enter the classroom and ask, what is that? What is that? They don't know because they are not part of the identity of the class. They are not part of the culture of the class, which celebrates achievements, which celebrates prestige, which celebrates unity. It works. It works. It gets the students very excited to contribute to class unity, class prestige, class honor. So we have our motto. You enter the classroom. We named ourselves 5B Best Bets. And then the motto they chose is be the best, written there as you enter the classroom. Now, on my last year, I told you I um, I was handling 7D, daring darters, because nobody wanted to handle 7D. And I told them, okay, I'll handle it. Anyway, many of them passed through my grade 5B. I know many of them already. Now, let me tell you, according to research, according to research, three things are on top of the mind of every student on day one. As you prepare for the new school year, please keep this in mind. Three things are on top of the mind of every student. Number one, am I in the right classroom? This is based on research. Number two, can I sit anywhere? And number three, who are you as a teacher? I mean, what kind of teacher are you? Are you going to be like my favorite ones in the past who cared for me? Or are you going to be like those that I was afraid of, that terrified me, that made fun of me? Who are you as a teacher? Research says those are the three top things on the mind of every student. Now, here is my classroom, and I'll show you that on day one, without even entering the classroom, I answered the three questions already. Question number one, am I in the right classroom? You should know, I emailed your parents, remember? I sent an email to them and I told them I'm your class advisor and I'm excited to meet you. Now, look at this. Some parents didn't write their email address during enrollment. Maybe your parents didn't get to give the email address. No problem. The class list is here. Your name is here. Congratulations. You're in the best class there is. Come in, come in. That's the first question. Am I in the right classroom? They have not even entered the room. We answer that because the class list is here. Second question, can I sit anywhere? I know. You have a reserved seat. Look, there is a seat plan. I reserved a seat for you. They haven't even entered the classroom, and I'm already answering the top second question that is on the mind of every student, according to research on day one. And not only that, look, I didn't just reserve a room, a seat for you. You even have an assignment. Look, you're in charge of the waste basket here, there. Look, your classmate is in charge of litters. The other one is in charge of desk alignment. This one will be in charge of the key. This one will be. They have not even entered the classroom, and the message is already very clear. All of us will have a role to play. All of us will contribute to making the class run like a smooth machine, like a well-oiled machine. Everyone will have a role to play. Don't worry, next quarter, you will have a different assignment and we will change the seat plan. But I answered second question already. Can I sit anywhere? No, you have a seat that is reserved for you, and you even have an assignment that is for you. Third question, who are you as a teacher? And we go back to what I discussed yesterday, the smiling. I follow Harry Wong's advice. 1 hour or more before the bell rings, I would be standing by the door. No one can pass, no one can enter except through me. I will have to welcome them. And some of them I recognize and I welcome, I shake their hands, I give them my biggest, widest, fakest smile, and I tell them things like, congratulations, you're in the best class. Come in, come in. I have been waiting for you for a long time. You are very lucky. Come in, come in. This is going to be your. I tell them all those lies. I I tell them all the lies I can come up with. And believe it or not, they believe the lie because they go home that afternoon excitedly telling their parents, I belong to the best class there is. Now, let me correct myself. Not that they believe the lie, they will make it happen. They are going to work and work hard to make the best year, to make this the best year, to make this the most successful year, to make this a memorable one. So my last year in Southridge, we changed motto. It's now driven to excel. 7D, dating darters, driven to excel. That has become our classroom. And we follow the virtue of the month system. When you enter, that's the first thing you will see. The virtue of the month for June is study. Okay, now, you noticed earlier when I showed you the point system, there was about visit to the aged, visit to the hospital, going to the bookstore, the fully booked 4 stories of bookstore in downtown BGC. Why organize those things? When I was in Southridge, I had a certain agenda that I had at the back of my mind. I saw very clearly early on how computer games was affecting the minds of the young people, how they become very distracted, they are unable to focus. So I had to organize anything but computer games, activities, anything that I can make the students spend their time on productively, but computer games. Especially, okay, let's face it, there are some computer games that may be beneficial, helpful, good in developing coordination, etc. But let's not also deny the fact There are senseless video games. The more you kill, the more points you get, and the higher level you go. That kind of thing, which are a waste of time and affecting very badly the ability of the students to focus, to memorize, to pay attention. So that's why I had to organize all those things. One Saturday, I write parents a letter telling them the class, if you allow your son, we will visit the National Children's Hospital, where there are so many young people, so young and dying of cancer, of sickness, of an illness. Or we will spend the afternoon this Saturday visiting a bookstore. The owner is a Southridge graduate. He is giving us 15% discount. Or an overnight in school and playing basketball, futsal, and dodgeball the whole night. That's better than senseless computer games. The more you kill, the more points you get, the higher level you go. Or, okay, going to a theme park is expensive, I admit, but these kids can afford it and they have time. And that experience of being with their classmates for one whole day, having fun, is far more beneficial than a day spent in front of the screen with these mindless computer games. We would do it 2 times, 3 times, and my class would celebrate birthdays, birthday of a teacher, birthday of a student. We win in a competition that calls for a pizza party, McDonald's party. We are first place in the quiz bee, that calls for a celebration. And I have all the cell numbers of the fathers, as I showed you earlier in the form. I just have to text 3 fathers or 3 mothers, and they take care of letting other parents know, I'll take care of pizza, can you bring the soft drinks? I'll take care of the burgers, can you take care of the pancit, the spaghetti? I never had difficulties putting together a celebration, especially because there are so many things to celebrate for. James Stenson was the one who said that celebrate, celebrate every victory. Because if you don't, you will wake up one day and there is nothing more to celebrate about. So we need to celebrate every little victory in our the class. It's worthwhile. So now the question coming to the mind of many teachers, many class advisors, Mr. Rentoy, that's a lot of work. Pati Saturday, even our Saturday you're going to get, even our Sunday, our weekend, that's sacred. I need that. It's my me time. Of course, the question is it worthwhile? Does it work? To answer the question, I will let you in to my websites, class websites. Every year, I would have these class websites where I would, because I don't like it when parents call up. Mr. Entoy, my son was absent. Can I send the yaya, the nanny, to get the homework? That's the kind of students we would get in that school from rich families. I don't like that. So I would tell, please don't send the nanny. Just go to our class website. The class officers will upload there what we took up, reminders, exams scheduled, and if there are assignments that they need to know. So please don't send the nanny, just check the class website. So every year, it served me well having a class website and answering the question, does it work, by going to the class websites. So it will look like this. My last year in Southridge, 70 dating darters, and you would have the class list there, and you would have the tutor mentoring system. Every student is assigned a mentor. No? So a parent will ask me, for example, Mr. Antoy, when is the Christmas break? I tell them, check the class website. The school calendar is posted there. The answer to the question, therefore, does it work? Well, let's take a look at the achievements of the students. 5B, best bets. Parents Quarterly Forum, PQF. Not all classes are able to get 100% attendance. Not my class. I always got 100% for the first one. And while 86% only for the second. Some classes would be getting 40%, 50% attendance. Does it work? I guess so. I mean, if that is able to get the parents to come and collaborate and attend parenting sessions, and the the parents are excited to be there. Earlier, there was a question: doesn't it provide a pressure? It does a bit, but the parents themselves get excited, and some of them excitedly register because they know they are contributing to their son's class achievement award, class recognition. Now, here's one announcement. In 5B Best Bets, 86% of our students are in the honors list. That's not normal. I mean, 86% in a class of 25 means only three or four did not make it to first honor, second honor, or third honor. Does it work? Therefore, yeah, I guess so. I mean, that's the only explanation I can give to, wow, how did your students, 86% of them, made it to the class honors? I mean, to the honors list. And it's not because we lowered our standards. It's not because we made things easier. No, the students worked hard because they want the class excellence achievement. They want the class contributing to class recognition, class prestige, and class honor. We never have problems when it's time for gala attire. We always got 100%. Everybody was responsible in that area. And then um, I never have difficulties getting my students to volunteer to perform during a school-wide celebration, um, getting to um, contribute a number during the Christmas presentation. So this is another school year, the same. Year after year, the first parents' quarterly forum will always get 100% attendance. I never had to bother about parents who do not cooperate because they are excited to cooperate for the sake of the son. This is a very interesting announcement. Congratulations, we did it again. Of the 9 finalists in the book fair essay writing contest, 9 are from the 5B Best Bets. All the finalists came from my class because that is the kind of class you're going to produce when you do those systems, when you do those strategies. Eager to contribute to class unity, to class prestige, to class honor. We never had problems with competitions. We would be given recognition for being the cleanest classroom month after month, highest pointer in the Search for Class Excellence Award, being given recognition for outreach activities, for bonding activities, second PQF, 80%, but still highest. So the answer is very clear. Does it work? It does. It works. Congratulations to the honors students. And you see the list here. If you are from Southridge, you would be surprised. What? This guy is second honor? Didn't he almost get kicked out last year for 3 failing subjects? What? This guy is in the principal's list? Didn't he get suspended last year for misbehavior? I mean, if you know the students, you will start getting surprised and, whoa, what happened here? What brought about the turnaround? The turnaround happened because you created a whole new culture, a culture of excellence, a culture of camaraderie, friendship, unity, contributing to honor, contributing to prestige. So, no need to ask the question. It works. It works. So in a class like this is another school year where you have 25 students and 22 making it to first honor, second honor, or third honor, which we would call principal's list. So then it works. I will have to end in a while because it's now 4:56. And so I'd like to just end by sharing with you my vision for your class. Okay? Because from the very beginning, this is what I have been trying to do, a vision of how your class is going to be if you are an effective class advisor if you go beyond the minimum and look for systems, strategies. Sure, they will eat time, effort, even resources sometimes, but the effect, the output is far greater than you can ever imagine. So I'd like to share with you the vision. This is the vision I have for your class. Your students are very proud to be in your class. Students are very happy to be in your class. In fact, they think that the other classes are pitiful compared to yours. Students from other classes envy your class and they say, how I wish I was in the class, in your class advisory. They'd want to be there. Parents, they're so satisfied and confident with you because they know that their class advisor genuinely cares for their children. They are just too eager to help you and support you. The satisfaction of the parents comes especially from the realization that you are a role model for their child, virtuous, upright, moral, high impact teacher. Parents and students always talk about you over dinner, of your professionalism, of your punctuality, of your firmness but fairness, your kindness, your positive attitude. They know that you, as a class advisor, brings out the best. You bring out the best in their son, in their daughter. They may have complaints. I mean, like anyone else in any school, they may have complaints and issues, but your presence, your attitude, your support, your being the class advisor, all make the problems look trivial and insignificant. Your students support you through and through, and the last thing they'd ever want is to upset you, offend you, or be in disfavor with you. You know, parents may even lose trust in some teachers, in the system, in the curriculum, in the tuition. I mean, they can even be complaining about the fees, but your being their child's class advisor makes up for whatever shortcomings there are. And the parents are still able to say, it's still worthwhile for my son, for my daughter to be in this school. You know, as I'm describing this, I know some of you teachers, some of you class advisors are thinking, that's my class. That's how my class is. You have been effective class advisors. I mean, you are special. You are a gem to your school. You are a special gift to your school that makes your school a cut above the rest. I mean, really, believe me, if all the while you've been saying, Mr. Antoy is describing my class, it's because you have been very effective. So, you are the spirit of the class, the soul of the team, the magic behind the great class that it is. The team spirit is so strong. Failure of one student causes everyone in the class to be sad. Success of one student is a great joy for the whole class. You remember the tags? As I am putting the tags, the students are clapping, that turns into cheering, that turns into class erupting into celebration. That's the culture you're creating. There may be misunderstandings among the students, especially teenagers, or even among kids every now and then, but they're ready easily to forgive for the sake of class unity. This is the vision. This is what your classes should become, can become, if you are an effective class advisor, regardless of how your classes in the past may have been, because some of us can also feel inside us, I did nothing but collect reply slips, check attendance, dismiss the students. I can do more. I will do more because, regardless of how things may have been in the past, I'm going to be an effective class advisor. Because if there is anything right now that schools need to become really great schools, it's a set of fantastic, effective class advisors who are not minimalists, who are not dragging their feet, but are excitedly going at the very forefront of the battle for class excellence, leading their class to be an excellent class awardee, class excellence awardee. So our role is to produce men and women of character. The class advisors are the single most important factor for the success of the school in this task, not the academic subject. Sorry to say, not the guidance counselor, not even the principal. But if the principal is the one who's going to put the system in place and make it work, he is the key. His leadership, her leadership becomes the key to the success. We teach integrity when we come to class punctually every day, 2 minutes before the start of the day, eager and ready, not dragging our feet. They learn integrity in the way we carry ourselves, and they know. Okay, I have come to the end of these 5 days of nonstop talking. I am not tired because I have been with fantastic people, and it's worthwhile. Even if I would have to do this again in May, it's worthwhile. And I hope you have been able to get strategies. I repeat what I said yesterday. If you don't like any of these strategies, no problem. You don't have to do any of them. But please realize there are effective strategies out there. Learn them, because this whole seminar, this whole week seminar, is nothing else. It's nothing else but in an invitation to all of you. Let us be the best teachers we can possibly be, because the young people need us now more than ever. They are hungry for role models. They are hungry for real, appropriate role models, not the fake heroes that they see in social media and in television and in Netflix. Second, because this is what we have been hired by our school. We are engaged in the business of enhancing lives. Think about that mission that we have been given. I hardly talked about spiritual things these past 5 days, but let me now end with that. We are directly involved in the formation of souls effectively. When students come inside our classroom, even inside the Zoom rooms, you're not just looking at class numbers. You are face to face with human beings, with souls, and our job is to prepare these young people, as I said again and again, not just to be smart, but especially to be good. And that goodness is what will bring them to heaven. That goodness is what will bring them out there in the world, making a difference, changing society for the better, and in their turn, doing a lot of good to so many people. So, this is simply an invitation to all of you. I hope these 5 days have been fruitful for you. My sincerest apologies for internet sometimes making us feel uneasy. But again, it's being recorded. And so if you encounter difficulties with a connection, just go to the link that I'm going to post in the Facebook page in a while. Um, and then you can view the whole presentation without any problems of internet disruption. All of you who have been with me for the last 5 days will receive 5 certificates to an international seminar. This is counted as international seminar, not just because we have our friends from Portugal, from Sri Lanka, from Australia, but also because your certificate is signed with permission by my good friend, Dr. Thomas Licona of the State University of New York, the president founder of Center for the Fourth and Fifth Hours, and I, as Center for the Fourth and Fifth Hours Asia, I'm also signatory for having given this seminar. Um, I am going to I've started sending out certificates to some coordinators. And if you don't receive your certificates from your coordinators by Monday, please send me an email so I can directly send you your certificates, okay? And again, for those who are not yet with us in the Facebook page, facebook.com/groups/schools of character. And if you have colleagues, friends that you are saying, how I wish Mrs. So and so were here. She needs to hear this. She's the one who screams and yells. And okay, please invite Mrs. So and so in May. we're doing a rerun of the whole 5 days plus 2 additional seminars, preventing bullying to do character formation. and creating a school of character. 7 seminars in all from May 23 to 31. Please go to our website, schools of um, characterconferences.com. Okay, www.characterconferences.com, and you can find it there. The details of that seminar. And as I announced yesterday, and I promised I'm going to fulfill it, I will give this series, at least the three main ones, to public school teachers for free sometime in June. If you know principals or officers of public schools, please email me in catalystpds@gmail.com so I can extend to them the invitation. Let's help our public school teachers. Okay, wow, we are 200. Well, earlier we were 220, and it's now time for the mandatory selfie groovy. Please turn on your videos if you can and put on that biggest, widest, fakest smile for our pictorial. Here comes page one, smile. Thank you. Let's go to page two. Please put on your video that biggest, widest, fakest smile. There. Wow, that's a big smile. Great. We are now on page three of eight. Sorry about this. It takes time. Smile, three, two, and one. I really like your smile, Sir Rod. That's very contagious smile. Thank you. Okay, page four, smile. John is smiling. Three, two, and one. Great. Sorry, four more. Smile. All our friends from Portugal, thank you for sticking it out with us. Three, two, and one. Smile. Great. Six, three, two, and one. Smile. Last two. Sorry. Three, two, and smile. Okay. And finally, the last page. Please give us your smile. Three, two, and one. Fantastic. Great. So, with that, we have come to the end of our 5 days of being together. I hope to be able to see you in our future seminars, conferences, international events. And I hope someday I'll be able to go to Portugal and see you face to face, or to Australia, or I plan to visit Sri Lanka again after 1 year there, or from all over, my good friends from San Beda University, San Beda System, my alma mater. Special greetings to you, my dear friends, colleagues in Paref Northfield. Thank you. Thank you very much for joining us. The recording of this video of this presentation will be available within an hour. You can get the link from the Facebook page, or you can send me an email so I can send you the YouTube link. Thank you once again to all of you. It has been really an honor for me to have been given this opportunity to reach out to you. And we end this meeting in five. Please stay safe, everyone. Don't get sick like me of COVID. Stay safe. Take care of yourself. Four, three. Good luck in the school year that's ending and another school year that's going to open. May you be the best teachers your students will ever have in their lifetime. And I look forward to being able to meet all of you and meet your students when they are beginning to make a difference in the world. God bless everyone. I end the meeting in three, two, and stay safe. Bye and one.